Hey YouTube, Rob back again with another video. As you can see, I'm in a completely different location to where I normally shoot. I'm actually sort of house sitting and animal sitting at my mum's place at the moment, so I thought this might be a good opportunity perhaps just to do a bit of a change of scenery type video. Yeah, so it's time to do my end of the month DVD Blu-ray update. Yeah, so we'll make a start. First one I got here is Fury, which I've heard a lot of really good things about. A lot of people sort of saying it's a really good movie, so I thought I'd pick it up and thought I'd give it a bit of a watch. Yeah, it was actually quite good. I actually quite enjoyed it actually. I just think perhaps the sort of first half was probably perhaps a tad boring. If I've got to be a little bit honest. But definitely the second half really sort of picked up and. Yeah, definitely a good watch, I thought. Brad Pitt's, Brad Pitt. It's always, pretty good as always, I suppose, and some good sort of action to it, and good story. Also, some of the sort of special features I thought were actually quite good. There's some real life people, sort of old men who are in sort of the mid-90s, sort of talking about their experiences in World War II, when they were sort of tank drivers and. What sort of conditions were, and what some of the stories that they sort of had to tell. So that was quite interesting, I thought. Yeah, definitely a good one though. Definitely one I would perhaps recommend. So that's Fury. I'm just on an animated one which I've never sort of seen before actually. That's the first Despicable Me. I do sort of see a lot of those sort of Facebook sort of memes with people sort of talking about the Minions. There's always some sort of funny meme about them, so I just see them quite a bit, and but I've never sort of seen the movie before. But yeah, it was actually quite good though, I thought. Again, probably the second half was probably a bit more exciting than perhaps the first half. But yeah, it was sort of funny, and the three sort of girls, they were sort of quite cute, going out with some sort of funny lines. Yeah, nice sort of good one, good sort of fun one to watch. I do also do sort of own the second one as well, so I'll give that a bit of a watch very soon. Picked up, not sure whether your class is a chick flick or not, but got Bridget Jones's Diary, which I haven't sort of seen for quite a few years. But I'm a bit of sort of fan of Renee Zellweger though. I do sort of enjoy watching her movies. So I got the first movie. Also got the second one, Edge of Reason as well. But I have sort of seen it. It's not quite as good perhaps as the first one, and there's a couple of, there's some rather sort of silly scenes in it, I think too. Didn't you see it out of a prison or something? In a women's prison for some reason. I can't remember exactly why, but yeah, but I got to see it anyway. Just to be a bit of a completist. A bit of 90s cheese. I think pretty sure it's the 90s. Yeah, it would be, I reckon, wouldn't it? That's Mortal Kombat. Which I haven't sort of seen for years. I used to watch it. Well, I wouldn't say all the time, but I did watch it quite a few times, and I thought it was a sort of fun movie. It's a bit cheesy, but yeah, so I've watched this one for quite a while, so looking forward to giving that a bit of a watch. Next one is actually a film that will be perhaps on my top 10, I think, which I still haven't done. It's probably a bit late to post still a video about my top 10 movies of last year. But that's Belle, sort of a period piece type movie. It says based on inspiring true story on the back here, so I didn't actually know it was a true story, but anyway. So it's just sort of about Belle here, and her, I think her father was like a, I don't know what he's like, an aristocrat or something, but he was, quite a, up there sort of person, and sort of, I'm pretty sure he's the mother, who was the maid, I think she was like a slave. So, they got together and had a child, Belle here. But of course, back then, you know, black people weren't necessarily respected very well, and you know, that it was slaves, you know, type thing. So it was a bit of a, you know, a bit of a no-no to, you know, have a mixed baby sort of thing. But I think the father must go away somewhere. I'm not quite sure where he goes to, and the mother dies, I think. So she's sort of left with the father's brother. Like, I think I'm pretty sure she's brother, and so she's brought up in this, you know, sort of rich sort of big house with this sort of rich family, and you know, she's essentially, you know, part of the family, and you know, it's quite a rich woman sort of thing. But because she's, you know, black, they sort of have a hard time, you know, because they've got to sort of marry her off, and you know, no one wants to marry you know, a black woman, sort of thing. But yeah, I don't want to go into too much of the story, but that's essentially the story to it. It's just sort of about her struggle growing up, and you know, sort of being, you know, essentially she's, you know, should be a quite respected person, but because she's black, you know, everyone sort of looks down on her, sort of thing. But definitely a good movie though. Actually, pretty sure it's probably, yeah, I think it's top. I think I'm on my 10th spot. I think somewhere up there. But yeah, definitely a great one last year. Definitely one I would perhaps recommend. So that's definitely one to watch. Another animated one which I have watched. I think watched once before, many years ago. That's Over the Hedge, and I remember, you know, really quite enjoying this one. Actually, I thought it was a really good movie. Well, it's not necessarily talked about that much, I don't think, though. But yeah, definitely a good one to watch, though. Over the Hedge. And finally, sort of a foreign film, which I'm pretty sure I read that it was won the best sort of foreign film of last year. You know, at the Oscars. I'm pretty sure that's right. I'm not quite sure. Maybe I don't know. I can't see. It doesn't sort of say it on the back anywhere. But I remember, I'm pretty sure I read somewhere that yeah, it was. Anyway, so that's Ida. Probably one that not people perhaps have sort of heard of. I think it did sort of come out. I think it was made back in 2013. I think. Yeah, but yeah, for some reason it wasn't necessarily. It's a Polish film, so it's probably might have come out there in 2013. Perhaps, you know, back in 2013. But in America, I think it wasn't necessarily you know, available till 2014. Definitely a really good film though. I actually quite enjoyed this one, and probably feel that probably needs a, you know, a single video to really sort of talk about it. So she's sort of about Ida, and she's I don't know, perhaps want to spoil too much to it, but she sort of she essentially sort of becomes an orphan as a baby, and so she sort of gets raised in a nunnery sort of thing. So she's sort of training to be a novice, and you know, the nuns have sort of been trying to find her family, you know, for quite a number of years, and I think there's only got one sort of, and that's her auntie, I think, and they've sort of sent letters to the auntie, and they've never got a response back, and essentially I think they do get a response back from her, and sometimes I think the nuns sort of, you know, because I was just about to sort of become a nun. She's sort of a novice, and she's about to take, you know, her vows, and you know, be a bride to Christ, you know, sort of thing. The big final thing, you know. So I think the nuns sort of think it was probably a good idea to perhaps sort of send her off, you know, to sort of go and see her auntie, and perhaps sort of find out a bit more about her past before she sort of gets, you know, before she becomes a nun, because she's got to try and once you're a nun, you sort of got to push your past life, you know, back. You know, you've got to try and forget about that, and, you know, move forward and concentrate on being a nun 100%, you know, type thing. That's, yeah, I can't explain that very well. But yeah, because, you know, she's obviously got to, it's good to sort of find out about the past so she can know what happened to her, and, you know, move forward, you know, sort of thing. And yeah, but perhaps might spoil it any further than that. But she just, yeah, I guess to sort of see her auntie, and she sort of finds out that, you know, I guess it's a bit of a spoiler, but you sort of find that she's sort of Jewish, and, you know, at that time, you know, the Holocaust happened, so that's, you know, that's kind of what happened to her parents, you know, sort of thing. So she does sort of find out, goes into this sort of journey. Well, both women sort of go on this journey to sort of, you know, find out the past, and, you know, find out what really happened, and, you know, stuff like that. So, but definitely a good sort of film, I thought. Very, bit of a sort of a, I don't know, minimalist film, I suppose, in some ways. There's a lot of sort of major plot points are only sort of spoken within, you know, a few lines of dialogue. So you sort of got to be really sort of paying attention to it all, and you know, just sort of understand, you know, what's sort of happening to it, what's sort of happening. But yeah, definitely a good film though. I actually quite enjoyed it. Sort of shot in black and white, and a nice sort of cinematography to it as well. Sort of, very, yeah, sometimes perhaps an odd sort of cinematography perhaps to it. You sort of got, I don't know how to explain it really, but you sort of got, you know, don't sort of get full frame all the time. You sort of only get sort of perhaps half of people's bodies, or, you know, sort of, the face is sort of, you know, not quite centre, it's sort of to a, you know, over to the side sort of thing. And, yeah, but definitely a really good film though. Definitely one worth checking out. Yes, that's my little update. Just a few I've sort of managed to sort of watch and pick up recently. I've sort of bought some more, but I perhaps might watch them first before I, you know, make a video. So I guess that's it. I got my sunnies on because it's actually quite sunny and the sun's in my eyes. So that's why I'm wearing these to look like a bit of a fool. Yes, that's it. So if you sort of see any of these movies, you know, certainly send me a comment and leave me a comment and tell me thoughts, and yeah. But for now, yeah, bye.